What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. My name is John Huyn, and welcome back to another slice of my life. Today we're doing something a little bit different, something very unorthodox that I've never done before. And today we are going to be talking about my Christmas tree setup with my mom. And I just want to kind of talk about the importance of it and why. I made a video about it because, truth be told, last year was the first year I've ever set up a Christmas tree with my mom, and I'm going to be going over why I did it and why all of a sudden now, because my parents divorced when I was really young, and my mom was the one who mainly took care of me for a majority of my life. My dad and I are still in good terms. Even my mom and dad are still in good terms, so you know, there's not any animosity between the three of us. And yeah, but my mom was the main person who took care of me since I was little. And you know, Christmas has been something that's never been a part of my family tradition, even between me, my mom, my dad, and I, and especially even my other relatives, my mom's brothers and sisters. Most of them don't really celebrate Christmas the same way too. I don't even think most of them have trees. Maybe a couple now, but majority of them do not have a Christmas tree, and they don't really do presents. So that's kind of something that I personally grew up with, not having that luxury or having that tradition with my parents or family. And you know, being in this generation, being exposed to social media and seeing your friends and your friends get together with their family or their cousins or relatives, and they're always showing off all these crazy trees, their presents, the way they decorate, have parties, have white elephants. That's just a lot of things that I've never grew up doing. So for a big part of my life, I've always had FOMO about that. And my childhood friend who lives in Southern California, his name is Kevin. I went to elementary school with him and middle school with him. A couple years back, he was like, "Hey man, I feel like I'm just gonna get a Christmas tree this year and set it up just so I can have it," because he was kind of in a similar boat as me. He and his mom never really had a Christmas tree, really, and I'm not sure if his relatives did or not, but he was like, "You know what, I'm starting to work now, I have some money set aside and I can afford a cheap little tree." So I remember going out to the store, getting a tree with him, and we set it up together. And you know, it was so exciting to wrap all the lights around and plugging in that power, and the lights went on. I was like, oh my god, this is really fun. And immediately it set the mood, and it just really set that December Christmas cheer on. And that was like the craziest thing I've ever experienced. And I have a lot to thank him for, because yeah, just last year, 2022, I kind of tore a page from that, and I was like in the same boat. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a tree. I asked my mom, like, hey, I'm thinking about getting a tree this year. Would you like to come with me to do some shopping? So I took her to Michael's. We got like a cheap pre-lit tree. I think it was like $60, $80 for like a 6-footer. It was just basic white lights, and we got all the ornaments over there because they were like 50 or 60% off. So we got like 3 or 4 different boxes, and I think my mom went to a couple other different shops and bought other ornaments and other RGB lights. And yeah, we just added to that tree. And that was last year was the first time me and my mom did that, and it was phenomenal. You know, we had it set up for the whole month of December. I don't remember if we did it earlier than that, but yeah, that was fun. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And this year I hadn't really thought about it until Halloween. October, Halloween went by, and then we had Thanksgiving, and then I was like, hey, after Thanksgiving was over, I was like, hey, should we set up the tree now? And my mom's like, oh yeah, we should set it up now. And I remember walking out one morning, and she already had the tree set up, but she hadn't done the ornaments or the extra lights yet, but the tree was pretty much up. And yeah, I was like, really cool. But going back and rewinding a little bit, and just why it's significant for me is because like my parents divorced when I was really young, and my mom was the one who pretty much took care of me. And you know, I remember growing up, we didn't really have trees, so I think like when I was super duper young, when my parents were still together, they had a tree, and it was such a faint memory. It doesn't really affect or impact me in any way, but for the better part of my life, where I remember the most, we definitely didn't have a tree, never celebrated. And I'm not sure if it was just because it wasn't a really big tradition anymore, because no one else in our family did it, or if it was because of the poverty thing. You know, we didn't really have that kind of luxury to spend money on like decorating a Christmas tree, something that you'd only do like for a month and then find a place to store it. You know, maybe that was my mom's logic. Yeah, you know, growing up, it was pretty hard for us. There were a lot of sacrifices in our life that we had to make, and you know, it kind of affected me too, because, you know, growing up, I remember my mom would always promise me taking me to travel here or there, and even today, I've never left the States. I rarely ever left California. I've been to, you know, Las Vegas a couple times. I wouldn't really count that. And even inside California, I've only been between Northern California and Southern California. So like, I've never had a priority of doing anything else just because of the poverty that we endured. And even still today, we still endure. Let's see. And because of the type of relationship that my mom and I had growing up, my mom worked a lot. Because of the divorce, my mom was a single mom. She had to take care of me, take care of herself. She was always working, so the way that I grew up with her, we weren't really super affectionate with each other. And of course, I think there's that stereotype of Asian families where they don't really show a lot of physical affection with hugs and stuff like that. They don't really share a lot of verbal affection of saying I love you or expressing gratitude and stuff like that. Instead, things are usually done out of action, just getting things done and being kind of silent. So, you know, I kind of had that stereotype, but on the other hand, I just never really saw my mom. So I was super duper independent, and that also caused me to not really rely on my mom a lot on, you know, on all the other small things. If I could get it done, I always got it done. And, you know, growing up or in the recent years, my mom has been asking for more affection and change a little bit, but you know, it's really hard because, you know, I've kind of lived with it for so long now. Let's say like over 20 years of my life. So it's just really hard for me to kind of change that way and kind of show her affection. So I think the whole reason why I have this Christmas tree thing to celebrate with my mom is because this is my way of showing affection to her. And you know, this is that small time of the year where we get together and we actually put our tree together, we get ornaments and we do some shopping together and we just kind of decorate all over. And I think me and my mom are pretty similar in the way we like to kind of decorate and kind of do things to make the place look better. And yeah, you know, like that's the whole reason why Christmas now for me is like one of my favorite holidays, because you know, my mom is getting older and there are a lot of things that I definitely regret not doing. There are a lot of things that I'm still trying to do, like changing my attitude or behavior or show my mom more affection, but you know, it's just really hard because I'm just not used to it. It's just really foreign and strange to one day treat my mom like a normal human being to all of a sudden, oh, I gotta show her affection and start, you know, giving her more physical affection or verbal affection. It's just not really in my nature. So it's just really strange and awkward. But yeah, that's pretty much the significance of why setting the Christmas tree is so important for me and my mom. You know, just this year, you know, we've endured so much hardship. From me not getting my job at a police department. I got rejected so many times. You know, I lost my full-time job with my friend, and for a while I was jobless, so that didn't really help. And then when I finally got a new job and it paid a little better, not by much, but it paid a little better, that was good. So I was able to take care of myself again. And then my mom got into a car accident, which was not her fault. And then she lost her car because it was too expensive to fix it. So I had to help her get another car. And during all this time, because of the new job, I was able to have a lot of money. So I started to take her out to go eat, which is something that I've never done. Like, I usually never take my mom out to eat. Those are one of those things that even I, as her son, haven't done in quite a long time. I've done it a couple times in my whole lifetime, but it's something that we usually don't ever do. So with that extra money I made, I took her out to eat, and I actually took the time to actually like look at my mom, because usually we have opposite schedules. Where I'm working, she's at home, and by the time I get home, she goes to work. So I never really see her. And I just started to notice how old she got. Like, I remember for the longest time, my mom, you know, in her early 40s to late 40s, she looked exactly the same as she did when she was in her 30s. And now she's in her mid 50s and, you know, approaching her late 60s. I'm starting to notice how wrinkly she's getting, even her hands. She's starting to get more freckles, and there's just a lot of things. And it just made me think about when my grandpa passed away last October, and even noticing my grandmother, who's still with us today, she's also getting really old, and everyone's just getting older. And it just brings it a full circle back to the significance of setting up this Christmas tree with my mom. And I want to continue doing it every year to kind of seal this bond with my mom as one of the stepping stones to kind of open the door for me to do even more things with her, because she's not getting younger, I'm not getting younger. And yeah, so that's this little informative video of the Christmas tree setup for 2023. It's a little bit different than last year. I got a couple more ornaments, but ultimately it's pretty much the similar setup. But last year I wasn't doing YouTube yet, so don't have any record of it. But we'll be continuing to do records of YouTube for the Christmas tree setup for next year as well. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little life story segment with John Huynh, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Under the mistletoe.